What can I say about Grand Theft Auto that wasn't actually been said by anyone else on the internet? I could talk about the great things games are, but yet again, I don't want to sound like a parrot who repeats everything the internet has to say about GTA. The series was originally on the Sony PlayStation with Grand Theft Auto in 1997, followed by closely to GTA London and GTA 2. However, it wasn't until GTA 3 was released in 2001, and I believe that the series I truly found was Feet. The GTA 3 was able to get in the foundation as a world open game that should be. While the first GTA games were top shown, GTA 3 was a full open world with developed story, unlike other predecessors. The game was released for PlayStation 2 and was immediately a success. It kickstarted Rockstar's biggest moneymaker, a moneymaker that they continue to exploit even to this day. Sadly, the game wasn't ported until Xbox until 2003 in December. It annoyed me greatly as I did not own a PS2. Oh, I wanted a PS2, believe me. Sadly, my uncle Al gave me his Xbox. I don't know how to use the bloody thing. He said it was just a cutting board for the bread. Xbox was nowhere good as the PS2. With far exclusive titles that credits as credit was due, it doesn't have much of a sticker controller for the PS2, my humble bumble opinion. All my friends, meanwhile, who owned a PS2 were busy playing GTA 3. They always teased me on the bus of school for not having the game yet. I told them to shut the F up. I needed GTA 3 and I needed it fast. I only managed to play a little bit of it at a friend's house. Little did I know that I played in love. Everyone on my block had the GTA 3 in their possession. Even Conal Dono owned it and finished the game 100% in just 2 weeks. You suck, my boy. Conal Dodo laughed as he began beating me up for my lunch money. Someone please turn the damn dodo to a roast dinner or something, I beg you. The news about GTA 3 was getting ported over to the Xbox first, as soon as it became known to me around August of 2003. Around this time, I already graduated from high school and began working on a game internship at Rockstar Studios. Sadly, I failed miserably and I was forced to get a job at Smelly Factory where boss Mr. Lionel hates me because I don't even know why, but to be honest with you, he hates me for no reason. He teases me like a mouth stainer for not playing GTA 3, yet when everyone else at the factory of their grandmother had played it. Sorry about that, rant peeps. Anyways, it was around the normal time getting a job at the factory, and that great news of GTA 3 getting ported over the Xbox became known to me. I was excited to say the least. For the last 3 months, I have worked harder than before so I could save up the money to buy the game on Xbox as soon as it came out. Mr. Lionel eventually put aside his hatred for me and made me a floor manager. What's the job entail, I hear you not asking? Well, my friends, my job is to stare at the floor. It's a hard-worthy task, but sail a hero's trophy as we face each other the catastrophe. Now in early November 2003, Rockstar Studios officially representative Gordon Brown has a competition that would be held for a first copy of GTA 3 of the Xbox. For anyone who wanted the game would have to put their name on a piece of paper and placed into a hat. Whoever's name was drawn from the hat would be the lucky winner. I decided to fight the fire and start putting my name into that. As the big man did himself, Mr. Parks, who owned a viral factory at the far side of town. Luckily, the angels seemed to be on my side. I ended up winning the competition, with Mr. Brown pulling out my name out from the hat and which stank like rat piss. So it wasn't horrible, serious, I'm so sorry. The 3 days after the competition, I received my copy of GTA 3 in the mall. When the postman came to my door, he just said, just take it for F's sake, and then he just froze the package to me before running down the streets like a crying little whiner. I took the game and then went to the living room and popped the sucker into my Xbox. Now, even though the game was new, it made my Xbox make horrifying sounds. Smoke began to come from the Xbox, but I did not care. I won that game fair and square, and I beat your ass. I was going to play it, even if it killed me and my Xbox in the process. I sat down on my sofa and hugged the controller close to my chest, and my Rockstar logos appear. The game started off with Charlie taking part of the big failed prank bank robbery with Catalina and McGill. He is then shot and then left for dead by Catalina. Then without a warning, the game cuts to a part where Claude was drive 8-ball over to Luigi's club, Weirdly enough, the pair didn't even bother changing out of their prison clothes. Luigi escorted Claude inside the club, where it was led to a 1970s disco-like area. Claude was then brought up to a Stelvio Leon, who sat on the tables the far side of the room. "So, son, Luigi tells me you want to join us," Leon asked before continuing with, "Well, I'll tell you what. Beat my son B-Bear in a dance and then you'll make him the man. Anything you could and want." Claude was then brought up for a dance floor where he met Leon's son. Almost disgusting thing I would ever seen in my life. I've seen it in Shark Tale, but it couldn't have been real. It was horrifying bear bee-bird thing hybrid. It looked like something you see in a nightmare. The creature just started dancing and then started singing to Claude. The voice that came from the hybrid made me quiver and crap out eggshells. "I am a bee-bear and I could tell that you want to buzz me because I know I love your honey," the hybrid sang. I got sick and Claude began dancing with the hybrid. I wasn't controlling Claude, he was dancing in a vaultation. With his dancing was horrible. It's the kind of dance that the fat man named Larry doesn't even been getting up from the stage by a Lionel Richie impostor, whose breath stinks like kebab meat. Thankfully, the game cuts to then shows Claude leaving the club as a mission pass thing appeared on the screen. I made Claude steal a car nearby, and the controls of my car, dear God, they were awful. The car would slide violently from left to right as much as I kept it on the road. Meanwhile, Claude began changing as well, as Claude became Richard Fatchard. Fatchard was too big for the car and ended up making it collapse over one side. Eventually, I decided I had enough and decided to take the first mission to Jody de Leon. I finally got back to Luigi's club and then taken the next mission from him. But I thought that bee-bear thing was still being there enough to keep me away from the time being, I assure you. The mission was called Love is Always on Time. It started off with Jody Lon ordering Fatchard to bring his lover for Komodo Hudgens to see him. I made my way over to the train station where Hudgens was waiting for me, and I couldn't see him, however, but had Fatchard drive me all the way to Joey's garage, where the Komodo was then gotten into his own without Fatchard's help. He didn't seem to mind, however. "Hey kid, would you mind giving me a lover lift?" Joey asked Fatchard to respond with, "Can do, boss." Hudgens then got on the car with Fatchard as they began making their way to Portland docks. During the carway, Hudgens began to touch Fatchard's ice cream before saying, "You are a real sea dog, Fatchard." Command laughed heavily as Richard put his head out of the window and attempted to escape. The car ended up crashing into a brick wall and then exploding. Then the game cut to black and then it showed a mission passed once again, appearing on screen. I was also back to playing as Claude. Okay, pardon my French, but what the hell is that? That was, well, I don't even know what that was. Thankfully, the next few missions for Joey went normally until I reached the mission, Carefulness Cliffshire. I then nearly was sick again, and then I saw that Claude was going to be there for that with that bee-bear hybrid thing. "I love you, honey, in my tummy. Can you call me anytime, anywhere?" the bee-bear sang in his nasty voice. I switched off the Xbox off before turning it back on again. I had enough of doing that story missions anyway, and now that it was a mess for around GTA. I took a look online and some cheats said I couldn't find for the Xbox version. I eventually gained some courage to complete Joey's mission with the bee-bear thing until complete all of his and Luigi's missions. I even was able to complete Tawny Capron's missions, which was thankfully no longer replaced by the bee-bear. I got to the point where you would have to be in the island for Stelvio Leon betrays you in order to make peace with the Combine Carter. In Sultan, I began working for Kenji Kaisen instead of head of the Liberty City, Kazuka, along with business mogul and even corrupt politician Donald Love. Claude was eventually ordered by Love to eliminate Cassine in order to get a kickstart from the gang war before Cardle and the Yakuza. However, unlike the base game, Claude was unable to kill Jean and then died trying to run him over. Cason and his men proceeded to storm over the Love media and building, killing Ronald Love in the process. Now playing the game as PG, I took a mission from Ray, who had a zipper on his forehead. Yeah, that's what's shining on your head. Kenji's assistant, Fiddler, then sang the Meku's song, which replied with, "I got something that might interest ya." He then began unzipping his forehead to have a large green alien appear from it. It had a giraffe-like neck and some sort of device attached to it. It was incredibly tall and standing nearly 8 foot tall and had a beady black eyes, a baby-like face, and a huge claws that would tear through skins like a knife through butter. "We are the Sliverine Meshquis," he said as he killed Cassine and Fiddler with one of the fat-tailed swoop from his claws. Suddenly a spaceship appeared from above Liberty City and crashed into the Love Media building before falling into the ocean. The game then cut to show that Liberty City had been taken over by Sliverine, who had turned the city into their own concrete parking lot, much like Notorious Oxide advised them to do so. Leffer Leon, meanwhile, was killed and converted into a skin suit that was all tank top, guys. Then all of a sudden, the real stupid-looking animated squirrels then came on the screen and said, "Now here's something to tell you you'll really enjoy." It looked so stupid. I really wanted to die, even the fire, or some sort of Freddy Krueger. I'm sorry, dear reader. I haven't even had my Weebex yet. Sorry. Suddenly, the apple-loving fatso himself began to appear on screen, and then it was Mr. Parks holding an apple because, of course, he was. Apples were the only things he could eat after all. That's what he always says Aunt May would say anyways. Mr. Parks appeared on screen and said, "Face it, son, the game was never meant to be played by you. Rockstar gave you a troll game because they hate you." "Rockstar hates me?" I asked, as Mr. Parks replied with, "Why, do they think they'd pass over an intern game in favor of mine?" "You got the intern job?" I asked, as Mr. Parks' face had an extra close on the screen, and it was boiled like a potato dough taking over me. "It's over, son," Mr. Parks laughed as he squeezed the apple, breaking it into pieces. What if Mr. Parks said was true? I then wanted to sue Rockstar for what I got. I called up the cops for assistance, and as a matter of fact, the policeman showed up at my door. I was incredibly fat and was wearing a large, bulky cover overcoat. "I am unable to sue Rockstar Games or not?" I asked as I sat down in the living room. The police officer then made his way over to the overcoat table, and it smelled like fish and chips. Not very good ones either. All I could say was that it was your game, and it might have been useful for a lawsuit against Rockstar Company. I'll need to know how I came across my possession in order to determine if Rockstar is truly playing tricks with you. The police officer explained to me and sat down on the chair that as far as the side of the room. My stomach let out an unpleasant sound, and the officer began swaying back and forth on the chair as he was sitting on it, as he was trying to hold in a fart. Things started to get a little awkward for my taste, so the police officer wouldn't say anything, so I ordered him to make him a cup of joe, just so I can get him out of the damn room. While in the kitchen, I could hear the police officer getting up from the chair, and he asked me in general questions about the bootleg, which I responded with, "What do I know even about the bootleg game?" "No offense, officer, and that's what worries me. You see, the games are already classified as trouble. Anyone who plays with them is also trouble, and that's my job, eliminating trouble." The police officer then finished as I turned around to face him. He then removed his police cap, revealing a large zipper on his forehead. "Oh, good lord," I cried at the top of my lungs. A police officer began unzipping his forehead like the Mowowski did in the game, and the officer's skin then dropped to the floor as a bee-green bear hybrid stayed on top of it. "I'm a bee bear, and you can call me Buzz Me," the hybrid sang as it cried, "No!" I held at the corner of the kitchen as the bee bear glared down at me with his soulless eyes. "Don't hurt me," I said quietly. Then all of a sudden the bee bear was then whacked over the head with the shovel. The hybrid was then hit several more times with the shovel, and the man holding the shovel proceeded to throw the hybrid into a Tesco carrier bag, which was then dumped outside. What a man. The man himself revealed to be none other than Mr. Lionel. "Come on, son, let's go sue Rockstar," Mr. Lionel proclaimed happily, and made our way into the living room. I could see what I believe and saw. The Jonah the smelly dog was then shown stealing my bootleg, so I couldn't testify against Rockstar. "Sorry, Merlock, I'll be going now," Jijon said as he began running down the streams at intense speed. His legs were huge due to his trousers being stuffed with Lionel's retirement fund money. Lionel and I began chasing Darnell down the road and yelled, "Come back here before we beat you up, you smelly dog." "Oh, you won't catch me," Dijon laughed as we continued to chase him. "Someone stop those pranks," I cried as we chased Dandan on and on. In fact, I'm still chasing Dijon to this day. It's been almost 17 years since the GTA bootleg copy Bufasco, and we still haven't been able to catch Dijon. I haven't been able to catch him as Mr. Lionel has long passed away. He actually told me he died on this first day of his chase. His old body was never built for running, not especially for 17 years straight. Maybe one day I'll catch Dijon, but then, until then, I still have some enduring questions. Who made this bootleg? Who or what it was for that bee bear thing? Did Rockstar create this hybrid thing that's sent to kill me so I wouldn't be able to press charges against them? Did Rockstar even make the bootleg? Did J. John work for Rockstar, which is why he took the bootleg back from me? I still don't know the answers to any of these questions, but I doubt I ever will. So sad. And that, my little pretties, was Grand Theft Auto free bootleg copy. I guess you could kind of say right now that it is well, it's it's a GTA funny pasta written by Matthew Bumford. Matthew Bumford, I want to thank you so much for writing this story. Thank you for so much for reading this. This was amazing. You did a really good done. So, with that being said, I'm going to say this right now. I actually found this movie to be rather good and well made. I definitely do like how, this whole thing went out. Now, I'm going to say right now, I don't play GTA, so that's kind of why I decided, I'll play this just for the sake of playing it because, not playing it, but like reading the story because it's just interesting. So, I'm not really crazy on Grand Theft Auto, just saying right now, but this story was amazing, Matthew Bumford. This story was amazing. You did really well with the story, and I definitely could say there was a lot of time and effort into the story, so I could definitely say that this was amazing. So, what I do like the fact that, I can't remember if I narrated this last year. Like, I might have remembered it last year, but I can't remember if I narrated it last year. I'm pretty sure I did, but I might have not, but feel free to let me know because, I might have narrated this at one point, but I can't remember. It might have been last year because that was over a year ago. But if I did narrate it last year, yeah, I have to say, I like this pasta. It's a funny pasta. You did really good job with this story, Matthew Bumford. There's definitely lots of time and effort into it, so I definitely gotta say, you did really great with this story. And I'm definitely saying this right now. I really do like how the concept went out. This is actually very funny and silly. Yes, I had to take multiple takes because it was just how silly it was and how funny it was too. So that's definitely one of the reasons why I actually had to take multiple takes, because it was funny. Now, I could definitely say that this pasta, funny pasta in fact, was really well made, really well detailed, and I do like the grammar of this story. The grammar is really well done. So with that being said, I'm going to say, I know this is not really a long review because, well, there's nothing really much more to say because I just explained, what I liked about it on, on here. So with that being said, I'm going to be sitting there and saying this right now, and I'll always continue to say that this is simply my own personal opinion, and if you disagree with me, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions regards to these creepypastas or funny pastas, whatever you guys prefer to call it. My final rating of the story is 10 out of 10. Great story, great, well made. I like the concept. The grammar was good. The sentence structure was good. The storyline was awesome. The flow of it went well, and it was really well made funny pasta. So that was definitely something I'm definitely going to say right now that was really well done and really well made. So overall, I do find this story to be rather enjoyable and really well made. So, with that being said, what did you guys think about this curry pasta or funny pasta, whatever you guys decide to call this one? Did you guys enjoy it? Did you guys not? Also, what we have done personally to help make this story a lot better? Leave me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section down below. I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. And if you happen to be brand new here on this channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to when I upload so then you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, please roll the outro because I'm out of here. And I will be catching you all in the next video. So thank you so much for watching. And as always, I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Peace out, everyone.